Hi, my name's Amanda and today I'm going to show you something called the simple stitch. It's a nice easy one to progress to if you have mastered our UK doubles and trebles, and it gives you this nice easy effect. It's just a 2-row repeat. So off we go. As always, I'll be working in UK terms. I have gone ahead and made my chain. Now this can be any multiple, so just depending on what you're making, it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be odd or even, any number of stitches. And I have got my stitch marker in my first chain at this end, which will help us keep our rows nice and straight. So get your attention, and we are going to be working in the second chain from our hook. So remember, this one does not count as a stitch. That is number 1 and that one there is number 2, and we are just going to be doing UK double crochets. So hook in, yarn over, you've got 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through both of those loops. So that is your first stitch made there, and as always in our stitch mark goes. So all you need to do now is double crochet across until we get to the end of the row. So you can see that's where we have just been. Again, as always, I've kept my stitches quite nice and loose so you can see them, but we are just double crocheting till the end of the row. That's where we've just been. That's our next stitch. Where we've been, our next stitch. And that's all we are going to do until we get to the end. So I will meet you back there. I'm at my last stitch. I know that because that's where my stitch marker is. So that's my last one. And I would keep a note of this. So this is your double crochet row. So you have 2 options now. You can just chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn your work, and your chain 3 would count as your first stitch. If you want to do it like that, I would then put my stitch marker in the 3rd chain, which is there. And my next stitch, so this row is going to be a row of UK trebles, so my next stitch would be in here because this is going to count as my first stitch. So you would work in the next stitch along for a UK treble would be in there. Let's move that out of the way. So it would look like that. Now then, the problem with this is this can look quite holey and baggy, as you can see, if you just use your chain as your first stitch. So you can do that, by all means, that's perfectly fine. So you would just continue with treble crochets along till the end. But I'm not going to do it like that. I'm going to show you a different way, which is called a standing stitch. So I'm just going to take that back apart, and I'm back here. I've just done my last double crochet in my last stitch here. So if you want to do it this way, which gives you a neater edge, you would chain 1 and turn your work. And now we are going to do a standing stitch in this one, which is in theory, a pretend treble. So where your stitch is coming out of, where your chain's coming out of, that very first stitch there, you are just going to do a regular double crochet. And now you're going to do another one sort of on top of it. So if you can see, there are 2 strands in that front part there. You are going to double crochet just around that second strand. So ignore that first one, and you're just going to go in from the side. So you'll just have 1 strand. The first one is under there, and you're going to have this one on. And you're just going to double crochet as normal, but just through that first strand. And that will give you a sort of a pretend treble. It's a bit bulkier, so you don't have as much holy gap on the side. So that is your first stitch as normal. Stitch marker in, so that is called a standing stitch. It just gives you a neater, less holy side, really. So all we are going to do now is UK treble across till the end of the row. So that's yarn over, hook in, pull up a loop. You've got 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're just going to repeat that across. So we know that's where we've been. So that one there is our next one. And again, we know that's where we've been. So our next one is there. Oops, yarn over, remember that bit. And we are going to repeat our treble crochets until we get to our last stitch, and I will see you back there. So I'm on my last stitch. Again, I know that's because that's where my stitch marker is. So if you need to leave it in while you do your stitch, please feel free to. If you know where you're going, you can take it out. It doesn't matter either way. So mark this down as a treble row. And that is it. That is our pattern repeat. So we are now back to a double crochet row. So you would just chain 1, turn your work, and again in that very first stitch where your chain is coming out on, that is where you put your first double crochet. You can take another stitch marker if you want to, or move that one up depending on how many you've got. Stitch marker in and off you go again. And that is your pattern repeat. 1 row of doubles and 1 row of trebles, and that gives you a really, really nice stitch. Thanks for watching.